Come on in, welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're counting down Jeff Probst's best burns of all time. Sassy Jeff, Saucy Jeff, Spicy Jeff, whatever you want to call him. I think we all love it when Jeff briefly steps out of host mode to lay down a verbal smackdown on Survivor players. Often merited, sometimes not. Jeff's dragged countless players over the years. From clever off-the-cuff critiques of challenge performances to personal barbs at players he didn't care for, and sometimes even near apoplectic meltdowns over players quitting. So today, I thought it would be fun to count down my 10 favorite Probst zingers of all time, and considering there are dozens upon dozens of classic Jeff burns throughout Survivor history, at the end of this video, I want you to drop your favorite Jeff burn in the comments. So don't be a poser. Do your ceremonial loser dismount, and hey brother, we'll go when I'm ready, as we count down my 10 favorite Jeff Probst burns of all time. At number 10 is Jeff roasting Courtney during the Touchy Subjects Challenge at the Final 7 of Survivor Exile Island. In this challenge, players have to anonymously fill out a questionnaire about their fellow castaways, then publicly answer whose name they believe was written down for each question most often. And Fire Dancer Courtney learns the hard way that her tribe views her as a bit of a joke. She's the most annoying. She succumbs to intimidation the easiest. She never shuts up. But the moment of the challenge comes when Jeff asks who the tribe said the biggest poser is. And Courtney needs some clarification.
What is a poser?
Reveal. The answer to what is a poser is you.
A white woman with dreads lacking self-awareness. No freaking way. At number 9 is Jeff poking fun at Benry during the Final 10 reward challenge in Survivor Nicaragua. Even by the midpoint of Nicaragua, Jeff was at wit's end with this season, and Nyanka and Purple Kelly hadn't even quit yet. The yellow team get completely destroyed in this reward challenge, and Probst, clearly frustrated that this cast can't even muster an exciting reward showdown, zings Benry's backflip off of the challenge when it's over.
Benry makes the best move of the challenge for the yellow team with the ceremonial loser dismount.
I think Nicaragua is about the 38th season I'd recommend watching for new viewers, but if you're only watching Survivor to watch Jeff Probst hate his life, this is number 1. At number 8 is Jeff roasting the Manono tribe during the Episode 3 reward challenge of Survivor One World. Jeff's had some truly memorable challenge zingers over the years.
Monica once again very slow for Bion, like it's a Sunday picnic for the church. Deeds continues to wait for help, like waiting to get called on in class. Teacher doesn't see him.
Come to think of it, what the fuck was his problem during Cambodia? But my personal favorite challenge zinger is perhaps his least clever and most blunt. In this one-on-one memory challenge during the One World pre-merge, the women's tribe are completely dominating the men, and the Troyzan Cat Heat takes 7 freaking attempts for one of them to get on the board, with another point for the women. But after one of Troyzan's many flops during this heat, Jeff drops the bluntest possible commentary on the Manono men's performance.
Troyzan, not even close. The men continue to be pathetic in this challenge.
Well, Jeff, you can actually just drop the "in this challenge" part of that statement. At number 7 is Jeff's clapback at Colby at the Episode 5 reward challenge in Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. This reward was for chocolate, something Colby is very familiar with, and Jeff very charitably offered both tribes a bite of chocolate before the challenge. But the Colbster didn't want to sample the goods when Jeff passed around the plate. He's amped up, and he's ready to throw down.
I handed you the plate, and you were like, I don't want this.
I'm not annoyed with you. I'm ready to get to the challenge.
Free offer of chocolate. I'm just curious.
Let's go.
I got the message, brother. We'll go when I'm ready.
Colby's bizarre intensity is made even better by the fact that he ends up sitting out of this challenge. We'll go when I'm ready. Except you. You'll warm the bench. At number 6 is Jeff's burn on Candace at her elimination in Survivor Cook Islands. Candace's first go-round in Survivor was largely defined by her showmance with Adam. She heroically mutinied on her tribe to go make out with him. She was repeatedly exiled for wanting to make out with him. And poor Billy was in shambles. Candace ultimately paid the price for her thirst with her elimination at the final 8, when the I-24 send her packing over Adam because Adam won immunity. And before she leaves, Candace locks lips with Adam one last time. And on her way out the door, Jeff offers some rare torch-snuffing commentary.
Well, a kiss is nice. Maybe if it were love, he'd have given you the immunity necklace. Candace, tribe has spoken.
Don't worry, Candace. I'm sure he won't immediately move on to flirting with Parvati. At number 5 is Jeff berating Colton during his quit in episode 3 of Survivor: Blood vs. Water. Jeff hates quitters nearly as much as he loves Boston Rob, and his angriest moments ever in Survivor history are when certain players chose to voluntarily end their stay in the game. One of the quits that drew the most ire from Jeff was when Colton decided to rage quit on day 7 of Blood vs. Water, both because his tyrannical style of gameplay wasn't working on a tribe of returning players, and because he wasn't able to play Survivor with his boyfriend Caleb. Jeff spends a lot of time laying into Colton, sugarcoating nothing. But the most devastating comment is when he says Colton should have never come back at all.
Lots of people like to watch adventure. It doesn't necessarily mean they really should get up off the couch. And I'm now convinced that Colton is the guy who never should have got up off the couch. We brought a quitter back, and we got to quit again.
Absolutely brutal. There's nothing clever here, but considering Colton never got any sort of game comeuppance for his personal cruelty, this is weirdly therapeutic for both the audience and for Jeff. At number 4 is Jeff absolutely torching the Fang tribe during the episode 2 previously on segment of Survivor Gabon. Sometimes Jeff hates someone or something so much it's scripted right into the recap of the previous episode. Fang was one of the most disastrous tribes in Survivor history, a self-selected group of weirdos, geeks, losers, and grandparents. And Jeff would spend much of this season making fun of how pathetic they were. But my favorite of his many moments of him excoriating this tribe is during the recap segment at the beginning of the second episode, which is almost entirely dedicated to shitting on this tribe.
After only 6 days, the Red Tribe was starting to look like one of the worst tribes in Survivor history. They lost an immunity challenge badly and voted out one of their best athletes. They selected a tribe leader, GC, and he quit the next day. They lost yet another immunity challenge, and then finally, they did something that was completely out of character. They made a unified decision. They unanimously voted out their oldest and weakest player.
This is the season that almost made Jeff quit the show. You can tell. At number 3 is Jeff's question to Purple Kelly at the final 10 Tribal Council of Survivor, Nicaragua. Because Purple Kelly ended up quitting the game so close to the end, she was almost entirely scrubbed from the edit. And when they did show her, they went out of their way to portray her as a complete idiot.
You get to milk your own milk, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
One of Purple Kelly's very brief speaking moments this season is at Tribal Council in episode 10, when Jeff is interrogating the tribe over the last round's politics and who's going home tonight. This is an important tribal council. Brenda's about to go and the whole momentum of the game is about to shift. Everyone should have an opinion on this tribal council. Purple Kelly?
Purple Kelly, weigh in on this. Give us 20 years of wisdom.
Well, let me tell you, 20 years of wisdom. I think that...
The hand on the chin is so extra. The condescending cherry on top. At number 2 is his burn on Heidi at the final 8 of Survivor Amazon. Despite having one of the highest IQs ever on the show at the time, Heidi was portrayed as a ditzy airhead who had a habit of mostly talking about how hot she is, what being hot is like, and how much hotter she is than everyone else. This became a bit of a running gag throughout the season, and what defined Heidi as a character on the show. She's hotter and she's fitter than you. In episode 9, Heidi suffers a spider bite on her knee, which massively swells and hobbles her physically, which Jeff notices and asks about at Tribal.
I'm sitting here, okay, my strongest assets to this group are athletic ability and intelligence. And hello, one of those are gone right now.
Which one?
Well, that's a very good question.
That's odd. I thought we saw her 2 strongest assets a few episodes ago. The best Jeff Probst burn of all time, in my opinion, is his dig at Johnny Fairplay at the Final 4 of Survivor, Pearl Islands. Jeff's had a playfully antagonistic relationship with many players before. Henner and Coach immediately come to mind, but his contentious relationship with Johnny Fairplay often seemed based on a genuine dislike. Because it was. Go see my video on players Jeff Probst hated for more info. Jeff often doesn't roast a player directly until he's provoked in some way, but at the Final 4 of Pearl Islands, when Jeff drops by camp to hand-deliver a celebratory breakfast to Fairplay, Sandra, Lil, and Dara, he shoots the first shot on a barely awake Fairplay for absolutely zero reason.
John and 3 women in bed, another first.
Actually, not really.
Not really. Fairplay still seems like he's trying to come up with some sort of retort, even as Jeff pours mimosas for the group. When Fairplay is all but silenced, you know it's Jeff's greatest burn of all time. Got nothing else for ya. We've only just scratched the surface. Let me know your favorite Probst zingers in the comments. Until next time, don't get idled out.